Hi YouTube. So just thought we would talk a little bit about Sasha Bear and possibly a bit about mental health. Um, how Sasha Bear plays into all of that. We got Sasha Bear when she was about 4 months old, and um, it was the day after my aunt's memorial, so it was May 9th, 2018, that we had gotten her, and she was already about 4 months old. She is an Australian cattle dog and border collie, hugely affectionate with people that she knows. She is a service type of dog, so um, I have suffered from depression, complex PTSD, anxieties. Um, Hugo as well has complex PTSD, anxieties, um, just from a lot of past traumas. We've lived through a lot. We're both medical parents. It will be coming up on June 24th or 1st that I think it's 16 years since our son passed away. Um, so we lost him on Father's Day, and it was Father's Day when he was declared brain dead. Um, I kept taking him into the doctor's office saying, I think he's sick. He's pale, sweating, clammy, coughing when he cringes, or cringes when he coughs. And the doctor kept saying that I was paranoid, hypochondriac. It was all in my head. And so Hugo took him into the doctor's appointment, seeing some of the things I was saying. And the doctor said he was fine and sent him home. And he had Williams syndrome and hydrocephalus, a combination never heard of in medical history before. So he had his own medical situations. And so when Hugo took him into the doctor's office, he said it was fine. So the next day they sent him home, and the day after he was ambulanced back out to the hospital where he had a cardiac arrest in front of me. Um, and when the autopsy report came back, he had a viral pneumonia that actually attacked his heart. He was sick. So Sasha Bear, where she comes into a lot of our family life, the Australian cattle dog in her is a one-person dog, so she really adapted to me, and she accepts other people in our family and stuff, but she doesn't like people approaching her. She doesn't like people staring at her. So she is a service dog with my complex PTSD. Also, I'm a brain bleed survivor. I had a rare brain bleed people typically die from. And before that, I was going through cancer. I had thyroid cancer that spread to my lymph nodes. So they removed some of my lymph nodes on the left side. And then I had cancer cells appear in my right breast during radiation. So we went through that, and I've been in remission. We had a bit of a scare, and my thyroid levels reached 28, which normal is 4.5, and my sugars were high, and everything else was good. My cholesterol's, everything else, which we would think would indicate diabetes or something, but no, it was a scare that usually that's an indication cancer has come back. So we went for some testings. So far, my testings have all been clear. So I've been good on those. The stress and worry from that has been a relief. I suffer from thunderclap headaches since my brain bleed. I used to have, for a long time after, I had a pain right there constantly after my brain bleed that wouldn't go away. It was like hitting your head on the corner of a counter or right on the corner of a cupboard door, and you constantly felt that pain. But when I would have thunderclap headaches, or even when I had my brain bleed, my dog would paw at my head. Sasha will paw at my head, and she'll run and go get somebody to help aid my needs. So she's on alert. She stays with me all the time. She sleeps beside me. She doesn't get up until I get up out of bed. So she'll stay in bed until I get out of bed. She's been a great dog. Through all our mental health challenges and our health challenges, like I said, we're medical parents, and for 15 years had been doing nothing but medical care plus take care of our other children. Um, we went through the cancer and things were a little bit rocky, but we were starting to sustain, bring our lives back together. And then all of a sudden, a year later, I get hit with a brain bleed. Hugo decided to quit drinking at that time, and we started falling apart, mentally, physically, just emotionally exhausted, both of us. Hugo started having separation anxieties after my brain bleed. Couldn't get himself back to work, and we started losing our house. We started fighting, verbally, physically, and we ended up losing our whole family over this. And we lost our house in this process because we had no mortgage insurance. He had to be off of Cymbalta for 5 years, and Cymbalta's a mental health medication, and so he went off that, and our family started going a little bit rocky. Obviously, he wasn't able to stay off the medication for 5 years, and in order to get mortgage insurance for our house. So we ended up with no insurance in our home. So we ended up losing our home. We had no home for that after. So of course, we lost our kids. And just a lot of turmoil in our relationship between each other. He was resorting back to an old relationship, and which hurt our relationship. And in the long run, we did split up for a couple months here or there. And since he went back to Quebec for a few months, and since that time he came back, and when he came back, we worked on a lot of our emotions, a lot of what was triggering me, a lot of what was triggering him, learned to start communicating with each other again, which has been a long process. Sasha Bear has really helped our relationship in another sense, where we're able to go for walks with her, enjoy a coffee. She literally, she's just our sense of, she's just so full of compassion and love for her family. We do have people that will stop by and ask if they can take pictures of her, things like that, but we don't suggest people to come and just approach us and want to pet her or things like that, because she went through a lot too. When we lost our house, we ended up living in a trailer. I got this $1,500 trailer, no water, no nothing in it. So we had to haul our water from a well, wash from a well, boil all the water, put it in a pot, do all our washing. And we would haul water to the trailer, and we were plugged into someone's garage for about 8 months. So we lived on that farm for a bit and helped take care of the horses, water the horses. Kids come around, give them bottles of water, feed them every now and then, things like that, try to help out where we could. I ended up finally getting accepted for an apartment after 8 months. It was a long journey. I ended up getting accepted. I had to have something decent for my kids. Let's say they ever, were to come back or anything like that. So I got a 2-bedroom apartment. And when I got the apartment, they told me I could have one dog. So then when I got into the apartment, it was like, no, your special standards to have a dog, blah, blah, blah. And it was this big back and forth disputes. And I wasn't able to get out to see my dog for 2 to 3 months because I had no vehicle to get out to the acreage. I had no way of getting there, so I would send them money for dog food. Because I know how much my dogs would eat and stuff. And they were taking one of our dogs, and the other one, we don't know what happened to her. They never told us, I don't think, the truth. And I told them, they were like, oh, you have to come try and get her. And I'm like, okay, I have a meeting on the 16th. I will see how this meeting goes, and I'm going to try to come get her and find a way to come out there and get her. So on the day that I'm supposed to have this meeting, they tell me that the SPCA came and picked up my dog. And so I'm like, where? And I couldn't find it. I was trying to look through all these SPCA sites, trying to find where my dog went. They told me they didn't know. where she went, and I just kept getting all these cats coming up for lost cats and things, and I was trying to find my dog. And finally, somebody messaged me one day and said, I think I found your dog. I think this is your dog. And it was her. So I contacted the SPCA. They asked me my story. I told them, we had people with her that we trusted, and or at least we thought we could trust. And they told me that the SPCA came and picked her up, and on and on and on. And apparently what they told the people at the SPCA is that they had found this dog. And they told me my dog was in rough shape. I was in tears when I found out. I didn't realize how much of rough shape she was in. She had no muscle tone when I picked her up. She was skinny. You could feel her spine. She was full of mats. Obviously, she hadn't been outside. She hasn't been fed properly. And I know the bag of dog food that I would buy for my dog, for 4 of them even, was, a big bag of dog food. And I know how much they eat and how long the dog food lasts, that kind of stuff. And it looked like she hadn't eaten at all. So we're not sure exactly what happened to them, if they were just shoved in a room and left there all day long, which is what my assumption is, because of the state she was in. She had no muscle in her legs, no muscle in her front. She was just skinny, and when we went to pick her up from the SPCA, she was hugely traumatized. Like, she was in so much trauma. She wouldn't go to anybody. She was pinned against the wall. She was terrified of other people. Like, she was just traumatized. So when we went to pick her up and she finally caught our scent, a smell, her whole expression changed. She come running right to us, like she was back there again. And it took a little bit of time to get her adjusted. She still does not like to be left alone. I can't leave her for long periods of time alone, because she will panic and she'll start, like, she doesn't do well with that. So we did get her back. I did advocate for her in our building, things like that. She is certified as a service dog. So, and she's been really good in our life. She's been really great support. She's about 7 years old, and she's a very lazy Australian cattle dog border collie. She's not huge on, like, we take her out for runs. She trots. She'll just trot ahead of us a little bit. She doesn't take out in big full bursts of runs. She always stays with me. She doesn't leave my side, like, hardly ever at all. And she's been great emotional support, amongst the knowledge that she knows what to do when I have thunderclap headaches. They basically are going from 0 to 60 in a split second. So she'll alert people for that. So we just thought we'd give a little bit of an insight on who Sasha Bear is and her lifestyle with us. She's, like I said, very laid back. Like, she's hugely laid back. Just affectionate. Just not with other people all the time. So I don't know, the trauma at the SPCA, or just what it was in general. Something we try to work with right now. And she's been really happy since we got her back. She's gained muscle. She gained a lot of weight. We actually had to put her on a diet to lose some weight because she was getting too big. And so she gained her weight very quickly back, which tells me that she wasn't either being fed properly or being fed at all. Because her weight came back within a week. She started gaining weight and started putting muscle on, of just walking her and, watching her diets and stuff. She was literally, when we picked her up from the SPCA, she was literally a day away from being sent out for euthanization. They were actually going to euthanize her. So we got her back in just the nick of time. The reason why I also bring up a bit of mental health awareness is We've been quiet for a while because both of us are dealing with our mental health issues. May has passed. We just surpassed it, which is actually the month of May is actually mental health awareness month. And so both Hugo and I are going through counseling. We are both staying on our medications, both working through our traumas, both working through a lot of things for ourselves currently right now. And everything is literally a step, one day at a time, one step at a time. And with Sasha in my life, she literally makes my day easier. She's been just an awesome dog, great support, really helps through my PTSD and even helps through Hugo's PTSD. So I thought I would just give a little bit of a highlight about Sasha Bear, a little bit about ourselves. As things have been complex for us, the situations, the clarity to keep our mind clear on what we're focusing on, what's happening. It's been a journey. We work on, we're really working on ourselves right now, trying to just take everything one day at a time. So that is a bit of update on a little bit about us, a little bit about Sasha. And we haven't been on YouTube too much because there is a lot that we are working out through ourselves, mentally, physically, even right down to working on changing our diets and whatnot. So there it is, guys. That's what I've got to say. And for now, thank you for all the subscribers. Thank you for the likes and for following us. And we'll just have to see where things go. We like to do more natural stuff, show where, like things that we find healing for ourselves mentally, and share that. And so whether it's walking in a ravine or going out to the country, seeing a squirrel, just little things that change your mentality in a day, where that is not social media, that is not on the computer, that is not, just things that are natural that we need to reground ourselves with sometimes. So that's what we've been doing, has been working on our mental health a lot, focusing on Sasha, focusing on our family, and just working on bringing ourselves back to reality. And that is what it is. Like I said, it's been a lot that we have lived through, a lot that we've seen, faced together as a family, and a lot that we're overcoming. So there it is, guys. Everything is one step at a time, one day at a time. So thank you for watching. Thank you for the, follows for Sasha Bear, for our family or whatnot. So yeah, so have a good one.